The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the February webinar covering Pensionmark's Financial Wellness Program. We appreciate all of you taking the time to join us today. This webinar is part of our monthly webinar series, and today we will be taking a look at Pensionmark's Financial Wellness Program, a comprehensive multi-point approach to financial wellness that offers the tools and resources to help you make more informed decisions about your financial future. A few housekeeping items before we get started. First, please note that in order to ensure everyone has the ability to hear the information presented by our speaker, everyone will be on mute during the webinar. During the presentation, feel free to write in any questions you have using the Q&A link on the webinar menu. Then, at the end of the presentation, we will take some time to go through these. With that said, I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Troy Hammond, President and CEO at Pensionmark. Troy is a published author on retirement plans and has been acknowledged as a premier retirement planning consultant. He is also frequently featured in industry publications and as a panelist on current retirement plan issues. I'd like to thank Troy for joining us today, and with that said, Troy, I'll now turn it over to you.
Thank you, Christine, and again, I'd like to echo what she said about we appreciate everyone taking the time to attend these webinars. I know sometimes it's hard to break time out of your day, but we do think these things are important, and we appreciate you taking the time. Also, these are recorded, and they're posted to our website as well. So if you want to review this at a later point, or if you have friends or colleagues who weren't able to attend and they'd like to watch the replay, that those typically will hit our education center, which I'll show you in a second, about a week after the presentations are conducted. So with that, I'm going to jump into it. And as Christine mentioned, feel free to submit questions through the chat box as we go along. If you have a question, it's probably something that other people have the same question, and we want to make sure we get all those addressed. So with that, I'd like to jump into it. Financial wellness program through Pensionmark is something that's available to you as an employee of your organization. Here at Pensionmark, we've been doing employee education for actually a quarter of a century. It's been a long time since we've been in this business, and over the years, it's really evolved. And in the beginning days, it was really the only way we could provide education to people was really face-to-face and sitting down with them and providing it to them. But over the years, as technology has grown, there's been many more ways to communicate with people. And it's allowed us to essentially group all of these educational resources together into one comprehensive financial wellness program and really connect with you in the way that you like to be connected with. So there are people that prefer social media, that prefer face-to-face, that prefer calling and talking to someone, that prefer, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to provide you with concise, relevant information to help you achieve financial wellness through the means that is most appropriate for you. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through the different components of our financial wellness program. Some of these, and I'm going to highlight those, one in particular, we're going to have a separate webinar on. It's actually, it's its own webinar in and of itself, and it's probably one of the most exciting parts of the financial wellness program. I'm going to touch on it a little bit today. That's our financial portal. But next month, we are going to be doing a webinar strictly on the financial portal itself. And I encourage you, if you like what you see on the portal, feel free to jump on that webinar as well. I think you'll see some valuable information. I'm going to go into each of these in more detail, but kind of the core of our wellness program is that financial portal. We're trying to give a simple and secure location that you can kind of monitor all your the financial components of your life. And in that, we can create gap and needs analysis, and I'm going to show you an example of that. The idea, of course, making sure you understand, are you on track? And if you're not on track, how are some ways to help you get there? I'm going to show you also our toll-free financial wellness help center. So we have a call center here that you can access, and I'm going to talk about kind of what types of questions we typically see there. We have our Retirement Connect program, which is where we communicate with you directly. We have our online education center. We have these webinars, seminars, one-on-one consultations, and then social media. So again, over the years, we've kind of added different components to the way we educate people, and it's really evolved into this more comprehensive financial wellness program. It's interesting that the industry is kind of becoming a buzzword around this financial wellness concept. So we're very excited about it, and again, thank you for taking the time to hear about it today. So as I mentioned, kind of the core, or I would say the most exciting part, at least to me, and I'm a recovering computer science major, so maybe I'm biased, but one of the most exciting parts to me of this program is our financial portal. And inside our financial portal, for those of you who use Quicken or Microsoft Money, or specifically Mint.com, programs that kind of consolidate your financial picture, this is something similar to that. It's kind of a hypercharged version, if you will. What we were trying to do is create technology that you can consolidate your financial life into one place that wasn't hard to manage. So as an example, I was a Quicken user for 22 years, and it's a great program, but it took me a lot of time to manage it. It took me a lot of time to get the data feeds in and kind of cross-reference everything and track my accounts and my spending, and it was just a very time-consuming process. And so one of the things we wanted to make sure we did is create something that was simple to use, that could be set up quickly, and then on an ongoing basis didn't require users to put a lot of effort in, but that also gave us access to provide you education and resources to, again, get you towards financial wellness. So at its core, you kind of see the 7 components, if you will, of our financial portal. Again, one of the nice parts of this is you basically link all of your financial accounts. So that would could be your checking account, your savings account, your retirement account at your employer, maybe prior accounts that you've rolled over into IRAs, your spouse's account, life insurance, real estate, credit cards, everything that you have that's financially related that has a username and password and a website, you can link to this account. If you look at the bottom, it says monitor accounts in one secure location. Secure is a critical component of this. I'll show you on our website a place you can watch a video on the security. One of the nice things about this is a non-transactional website. So basically, once you set up a link to your checking or savings or credit card account, the username and password are actually erased from the system, and the financial institution just feeds the data directly into the portal. So it's the same technology that Fidelity and Quicken and Mint.com use. It's extremely secure, and I'll show you again a link where you can watch that video. But the nice thing is, once you've gone and you've set everything up, you don't have to keep going in and updating everything. As you can kind of see here on the lower right, everything is updated in real time on a daily basis. And I'll show you in a second. I'm not going to go through the whole demo today, but I'm going to show you kind of a quick snapshot of it. For things that are updated throughout the day, like publicly traded stocks, your account will actually be updated throughout the day. For accounts like checking, savings, credit card, those financial institutions provide a daily data feed. So the nice thing again is, once you've connected your accounts are going to be, your whole portfolio, your whole portal is going to be updated on a daily basis without you having to do anything. And again, that was one of the key components as we were looking at different technologies, and what we wanted to incorporate is we wanted something that didn't require the user to spend a lot of time kind of keeping it up to date. We want rather have you spend time monitoring your budget, your spending, and the reporting capabilities that it has, et cetera, and kind of using it to push you towards financial wellness rather than just to kind of keep it up to date. So again, kind of going around that circle, updated daily in real time. You can monitor all your accounts in one secure location. It does have mobile access, so if you're using a tablet, the tablet version looks exactly like what you see on the computer screen there, as well as what I'm going to show you here in a second. If you use a smartphone device, it's kind of a more limited, streamlined version. Obviously, putting all of that data on a mobile device would be impossible to read. I use the mobile device a lot. It's great. It gets you basically everything you need. There's workshops. I'm going to show you that real quickly today on saving, spending, investing. And again, because you're looking at real-time data, you can get some really accurate results. You can track rewards, frequent flyer miles, hotel credit card points if you want to put that component in there as well. And one of the most important parts is tracking your spending habits. And one of the things that historically we've talked to people about as retirement plan advisors is you need, the best way to ensure you're going to have a comfortable retirement is to save more. And one of the things that kind of the genesis of this whole wellness program is, here at Pensionmark, we believe we can take ordinary people and give them extraordinary retirements. And the way you do that is kind of step one is to save more. I mean, that's one of the best ways to ensure that you're going to be financially secure at retirement. Obviously, where you're investing and how you're investing, those are important components of it also. But how do you save more? Well, you have to take a step back and you have to budget and you have to monitor where you're spending your money. And those things are kind of basic, if you will, finance 101, but they're also very hard to do. And I'll show you in a second here, this portal allows you to track your spending habits across all of your accounts, monitor your cash flow, you can create budgets, you can create goals, and you can kind of build that system, if you will, to allow you to either currently or down the road save more. So it's really looking again at your whole financial picture. And then the last part there on the access reports, there's all sorts of reporting, and again, we're going to go through that in more detail in the webinar next month, but everything from net income reports to cash flow reports to net worth reports, spending reports, investing reports. So once you've got all this data in there, you have access to a lot. I'm going to actually skip over real quick. This is a report that comes out of the portal. How long can your savings last? I'm actually going to hop onto the website real quick and just kind of show you what it looks like. And I'm hoping you can see it there. I'm seeing the audience view, so I'm going to try to zoom in a little here and try not to mess it up. But this is what your portal essentially looks like. This is the dashboard screen. And really, this is kind of the everything in a nutshell, if you will. So without going into a tremendous amount of detail, which I'm going to do next month, you have your net worth up here in the upper middle. You've got your investments over here to the upper right. And again, these investments are updated on a daily basis if they're publicly traded. You've got your budgeting over here on the right-hand side in the middle. In the dead center, you've got your spending. On the left-hand side, it lists all your different accounts. And these accounts are grouped, so cash will include all of your checking and savings accounts. Credit cards will include all of your credit cards together. You've got your insurance down at the bottom, middle, and then in the bottom right, there's information about mobile devices. There's some educational resources. Everywhere you go through in this site, you're going to see this nice lady or a lady similar to her, and we've got these videos posted throughout the site that are designed to help you. Obviously, you can always call our 800 number if you have questions about how to maximize the benefits of this portal. So without, again, talking about everything that I'm going to be talking about next month, I just want to click on a couple things here to show you. You have your organizer where you can link all your accounts. I'm going to go back to the workshop. You can track all of your spending. You can track all of your investments. There's a online document vault where you can store secure things like real estate documents, insurance documents, etc. And then, as I mentioned, there's a whole section on reporting. So we're going to go through this in more detail next month. The last thing I just want to touch on before I hop off and get back into our presentation for today is the workshop section. And this is probably one of the most exciting parts to me because this is what ties everything together. So as an example, you've got this box that says, are you saving enough for retirement? You click on it, and what it's going to do is it's going to pull up your financial picture based on your information. So questions that you've answered in here about risk tolerance, about your retirement age, it tracks what your expenses are and projects those out to retirement, looks at your existing savings, your monthly contributions, and says, hey, are we on track or not on track? And in this case, you can say John and Jane, you know, they've got 24 of 28 years funded. We're a little bit short, so what can we do? Well, we can increase our contributions, we can decrease our spending, or we can delay retirement. And so it gives you some ideas on maybe some solutions. And then everywhere in here you'll see next steps. We're constantly pushing you back to our call center to help us support you and kind of fill that gap, if you will. So there's also workshops, which I'm not going to go through today, on college education funding, balancing your finances. There's a great one on your investment allocation. So based on, again, your financial situation and some risk tolerance questions you've answered, you're currently at 5.36% projected return, but your target portfolio is actually different. So how do we get from the left side to the right side? Again, that's where we can help you here at Pensionmark. So I encourage you, even though our webinar is not until next month, where we're going to go into this in more detail, I certainly encourage you, if you're interested in this, to sign up. And how do you sign up? Just simply contact our call center. I'm going to show you that information later in this presentation. All we need is the email address you want to assign to the account, your name, your company name, and your birth date. We can get you set up. There's no charge for this. This is included to you as being a part of your employer retirement plan. So we encourage you to take advantage of this. I've now been using mine for over a year. I was beta testing it before we rolled it out to our clients, and I can tell you I love it. I use it every day. It's a fantastic resource. So the next thing I want to talk about is our help center, our call center. You know, one of the first things we introduced with our educational system was to provide just a resource that employees can call or individuals can call and ask questions. And to think about what types of questions you would ask, you know, everybody on this call, you have a provider, whether that you get your statements from, that you can call an 800 number or log in, and you can, for example, change your asset allocation and do transactional things. What our call center is really designed to do is to kind of, for lack of better words, answer the why questions. So I'll give you an example. Am I saving enough? That's a question that's great for our call center. We can help you with that. Should I take a loan? Not really can I transact the loan, but is a loan the right answer for me? That's a great question for our call center. I have a distribution that I want to roll into the plan or roll out of the plan. What are my options? That's a great question for us. If it becomes a transactional situation, so for example, you call our call center, most of the calls to our call center actually are involved or relating to the financial portal right now, so people are getting their portal set up and they have questions or want to talk about the gap analysis. That generally leads to I need to save more, and or maybe a change in your asset allocation. Now, we can't process transactions, but what we can do is we can dial in to the provider and get those transactions accomplished for you. So think of us as kind of your go-to people if you have questions about your retirement. Am I saving enough? Is my asset allocation appropriate for someone with my risk tolerance? Am I in the right investments? Should I take a loan? How do I manage my distribution or my outside assets? Those are the types of questions that we can answer. We do have representatives available 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in all time zones. All of the folks on our call center line are registered representatives. If you call and all of our registered representatives are unavailable, we will have someone answer the phone and we will take your information down and we'll have a registered person call you back. We also have bilingual representatives as well. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. It certainly is a nice resource, and again, don't hesitate if you have questions about your plan to reach out to us. And we're going to have one more contact screen here at the end that will show some other ways to get a hold of us as well, email, etc. Another critical part to our financial wellness program is what we call our Retirement Connect program. And this is where we're communicating with you directly on a monthly basis. If you're not getting these communications, reach out to us and we'll make sure that you get them. Multiple components here. It starts with the one on top, the educational webinars, and the fact that you're all on this webinar makes me think that you're aware of them. But we do webinars every single month on a variety of different topics. We encourage you to listen in on them, as well as we're going to put all the replays on our website and on YouTube. So if you miss a webinar that you are interested in listening to, you can always go back and watch the replay at a later time. We have what we call our call to action campaign. That's the second bullet item on there. And basically these are short and sweet educational pieces that we send to you to kind of get you thinking about things. So whether it's, am I saving enough, am I diversified enough, etc. And let me show you an example. So this would be an example of our call to action campaign. So it's just a simple email. In this case, it's talking about our services. Did you know you had these things available to you? Again, we have one on, are you saving enough? Are you diversified enough, etc. We try to keep them short and sweet. And then any email we send, you'll see on the right, we're always going to highlight either materials that we just produced or webinar replays or upcoming webinars. And you'll always see this 800 number down here at the bottom right. You can reach out to us and talk to us. And then probably one of the most important things down here at the bottom left, you'll see where it says update profile or unsubscribe. And most employers, they don't want to inundate their employees with a bunch of stuff. So most of the time when you're enrolled into the wellness program, you're enrolled into the webinars and perhaps the call to action campaigns and some of the education stuff. But some of the things like the investment pieces, which I'm going to show you in a second, you may not get automatically. So I encourage you to click on this update profile. You can go into the profile center, and if there are things you want to receive that you're not receiving, you can check those boxes, and there's just a tremendous amount of information that you can have provided to you. So you can always at any time unsubscribe or subscribe to whatever components of our program you'd like to do. A couple other examples. This is our Market Insight newsletter, and I'm going to actually zoom in on that for you. This one is typically not a standard enrollment, so this would be something you'd want to go out and enroll on your own. And then our Reinventing Retirement newsletter, which I'm going to show you an example of. This is typically a standard, so you're normally enrolled automatically into this. And I'll show you a couple examples of those. So this is that Market Insight. We have a quarterly Market Insight. We also have a weekly that's kind of a one-page quick snapshot. And then we have a quarterly webinar. So there's a lot of different things you can plug into depending on what your appetite is for investment and market commentary. But these are very detailed, lots of good information. And again, we have everything from short, sweet one-pagers to these nice longer ones depending on what your appetite is. And then our Reinventing Retirement newsletter looks something like this. And these are going to be more high-level retirement planning concepts. So you're going to see, again, this one is talking about longevity, rising costs, Social Security, and the cost of living adjustments in there. You're going to see things about Medicare, talks about stress and how that affects your health. So this is just kind of an example of one of our newsletters, but you'll see it's more kind of high-level financial planning information. They're 4 pages long, so they're pretty short and sweet. And as you can see, our contact information is always on there. So if you have questions as you read through these newsletters, and feel free to pick up the phone and call us, and we can answer them for you. So that's our Retire Connect. Again, you should be getting these on a monthly basis. If you are not, I encourage you to reach out to us, and we can make sure that we get you set up properly. I'm going to move on here to our website, our online education center. So as we started to kind of build out this wellness program, we realized we had a lot of materials we were providing people, and so we needed to create an education center where you as an individual can, if you're looking for something specific, you can go to one nice, easy location to get all that information. So as you can see, we post a variety of things on our website, and I'm going to show you an example in a second, but everything from educational videos to recorded webcasts like the one we're doing today, to articles, financial articles. We have all sorts of financial calculators on there. So everything from Social Security calculator to savings calculators. We have our financial quick tips. Those are really nice, short and sweet kind of things that we typically put on Twitter. We'll post them on here. So it's kind of easy to read. They're usually just a few paragraphs long. And then, of course, everything that I just showed you on our newsletters, those are all posted online as well. So how do you get to there? Let me show you real quickly. This is our website. And it's probably a little hard to read on your screen, so I'm going to zoom in a little here, and hopefully it'll be a little clearer. But if you go to pensionmark.com, this is what you'll see. And I want to highlight a couple quick things here. You have our 800 number and our contact information here. You've got this button on that's on the right-hand side there, and then kind of towards the middle right, you'll see where it says log into your financial portal. That button will take you directly to the login screen for your financial portal. So you don't have to, save any links or remember where everything is. You can always just go to our website and you can access this information. And then again, going back to the Education Center, if you hover over this Education Center link on the top, you'll see it says Investor Education Center, and it highlights the different areas. I'm just going to click on the general area to kind of show you everything. And you'll see there's a lot of stuff. So we've got our newsletters, our calculators, articles, webcasts, and videos. And each one of these things expands, and you can see there is a lot of information under each one. So probably more information than you could ever want, but it is a nice place if you're looking for something specifically. You can go to our online education center and you can find it there. If there's something, a webinar that you missed and you want to watch the replay, this is a great place to go look for it. Another thing I mentioned at the beginning I was going to show you, if you scroll down to the bottom right section of our website, you'll see some videos on the personal financial portal. So the What Is It video, there's a video that talks about the mobile features of the website, and then there's also a video that talks about the security. So if the portal is something you're interested in, these are short, sweet videos. They're nice to watch to kind of get you started. Okay, I'm going to head back to the presentation. Kind of the last thing to think about here when we think about communications directly with you in our call center and things like that is this one-on-one, this group educational seminars and one-on-one consultations. So from a group perspective, we do these webinars. For some employers, we're able to come on site. You have our call center that you can call and create a one-on-one engagement, if you will. And I encourage you to do that. Not a lot of employers offer that service to their employees, and it's something that is obviously going to be a huge differentiator for you. If you think about it, for people, I usually do this in a group meeting format. I'll ask people, who in here is taking a vacation, and a couple people will raise their hands and say, oh, I've got a vacation coming up, and I'll say, how long are you going for? And they'll say, oh, I'm taking a week-long vacation. And I'll say, well, how many hours did you spend planning that? And I get all sorts of varied answers, but people will say, well, I spent 5 hours planning it, or gosh, it took me 20 hours to plan my 1-week vacation. And I find it interesting how hard it is sometimes to get people to spend a few hours a year to plan for their retirement. And if you think about it, you're talking about what could be a 30-year vacation. And I encourage everybody to just spend some time on it. You know, we're not asking you to spend 100 hours a year planning for this, but I encourage you to spend a few hours a year to take advantage of the fact that you have registered representatives here at Pensionmark that can help you with your planning process and make sure that you're on track as best as you can be to have a secure financial future. And so that's why we encourage these kind of one-on-one consultations, whether it's in person if that's available or through the phone. Just start that engagement with us. Call our call center. Let us take a look at your account. Let us make sure and help you kind of get on track, if you will. We also have a whole kind of variety of social media. And again, we've found that this is a way that there are many people like to communicate. It's kind of short and sweet and easy. We have a Facebook, facebook.com/Pensionmark. We have a Twitter account that you can follow, which is twitter.com/PensionmarkINDV, which basically stands for individual investor. And on there, you're going to get things like those financial quick tips, information about our webinars, etc. All of our videos and all of our webcasts are recorded, and they're posted on YouTube. And you can find our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pensionmark. Also, all of the videos on our website linked to there. And then if you're on LinkedIn, you can also follow us on LinkedIn. So there's a variety of different social media components that you can access us through. If that's a way you like to be communicated with, that's a great way to do it. And again, if you weren't able to jot all these down in the couple minutes I've had this on the screen, you can always call our call center or log into our website at pensionmark.com, and you'll see at the bottom of our website you can sign up for any of these social media portals. So with that, I just want to kind of wrap up by showing you again our contact information. And there's a variety of different ways to communicate with us. You've got our 800 number, the 888-201-5488. We don't get a lot of faxes anymore, but we certainly have a fax number. We have our info@pensionmark.com, so if you ever have questions and it's not during work hours and you want to shoot a question to us, we'll get back to you as soon as we're back in the office. You can do that at info@pensionmark.com. And as I showed you, we've got our website at www.pensionmark.com. We also have these laminated cards that you see here at the bottom right. We could certainly send you one if you don't have one of those. Those are nice to keep handy. Again, it's just something that has all of our contact information in one place. So a couple of questions as we wrap up here that I want to address. One is regarding the cost. And you as an employee, there's no costs to you for any of these services. So this is something that is included that your employers engaged us to provide to you. So I encourage you to take advantage of these free services. Another question about the portal, would this replace Quicken or replace money? And that's a great question. As I mentioned, I was a Quicken user for 23 years, and I had a lot of data in there, and it was hard for me to do, but when I switched over to the portal, I actually stopped using Quicken. It just didn't make sense for me to maintain my Quicken information. The portal is so much easier because it links and downloads information automatically for me. Much easier place for me to keep my financial life in order that I've basically stopped using it. So we find that most people, if they move over to the portal and they were Quicken or Money or one of the other financial program users, they tend to kind of turn those off and just strictly use the portal. And again, if you're using that, you're having issues getting any connection set up, or you want to learn how to maximize it, you can always call us here. Another question, how do I get set up on the portal? Again, the easiest way is to send us an email at info@pensionmark.com or call us on our 888 number. And all we need is your name, your company name, the email address you want to use, and your age, and we can plug all that information in, and we'll send you a link to get your account set up. I don't see any other questions coming through, so with that I'm going to stop and pass it back to Christine.
Great. Thank you so much, Troy. That was all really great information. And that will conclude our question and answer period. And as Troy mentioned, the webinar will be recorded and the replay will be posted on our website on the Investor Education Center, as well as our YouTube page within 10 business days. And if anyone has any additional questions after the webinar, please feel free to reach out to your dedicated service team here at Pensionmark at 888-201-5488 or at info@pensionmark.com. You'll see the contact information up on the screen there. And I thank you all for joining us today. And once again, Troy, I would like to thank you for taking the time to present today. And this will now conclude the webinar. Thank you.